welcome to another episode from Honest to a Malt. Today, Mike, what's our episode title?
A good day to drink hard.
Excellent.
Episode 4. We're on.
And still on the action film. So I guess that's instead of Die Hard. A good day to die hard.
A good day to
drink
die
hard.
hard. A good day to drink hard. It's a good theme.
And we're going to be trying to recant going to Whisky Live, which was very recently on Saturday.
Which was a very good day. And it was
a good day to drink hard. We both, I don't know about you, but I went into it with the best intention of not drinking too much again, like a whiskey festival. And I can't remember when that went out the window, but
I think it's the first time I've gone in with a plan to try and be sensible for the first 2 hours. Try and just, spread the word about the almighty pod. Go and sample what we actually wanted to sample. Speak to the people we wanted to speak to, like as a priority, before we get carried away.
Except we were there from 5 to 10.
Yeah, so it's 5
So
hours.
that's quite a window.
Yeah.
Let's see how we do. Let's see how much we remembered from it. So we should we do usual what's in our glass first and what we've been drinking over the last few days, excluding the festival, where obviously we're trying
recovering.
We tried a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. We'll do that.
What's in your glass? What's in your glass? Tell me, Duncan, what have you been drinking this week?
So, Duncan, what's in your glass? What have you been drinking?
Well, right now, I've got a Gordon MacPhail Balblair distillery in Inverness Airport. So G&M Balblair, about halfway through the bottle. It's giving me a lot of like orchard fruits and milk chocolate goodness on the end, and 46% is perfect for me today because I'm still slightly in recovery. And I've been drinking a lot of Springbank 10 recently, nice. The November batch, which is just outstanding. It's really
so
excellent.
When you say November batch, is that it's November 22 it was produced, but it's only got released in March 23. Is that correct? Or am I wrong?
I can't really remember when I bought it. Just look at the back of the bottle and it says 10th of the 11th, 22. So I guess I didn't buy it in November. Maybe I did. Might have been December purchase or something.
Yeah.
I can't be sure. But anyway, that's been excellent. I've also been drinking, trying to finish off. I mean, it's a good task, to be fair. Finish off the Murray McDavid Lashig rum cask finish, because I've only got really a few big pours of that left. Yeah. When I get to that kind of stage, I'm trying to see who I should be giving a sample to that I haven't yet given a sample to, and get it finished. Right?
Generosity knows no bounds.
Yeah. What about you?
I can say. So me, this is my first dram since the festival. I'm going with an old favourite of Eagle Rare Buffalo Trace bourbon, aged 10 years, 45%. Really easy to get hold of. Really easy drink. Loads of cherry, nice bit of oak in there. Your sort of standard dreaded vanilla notes, which I love.
Love it.
And yeah, it's just really good value. Kicks the arse out of sort of other bourbons, in my opinion, in that region. So that is what's in my glass and what I'll probably be drinking for a couple of days while I recover.
Yeah, nice. I've also been having a bit of that Kilkerran bourbon cask strength, the 8. I've had a bit of that in the last week. I just couldn't put it down, so I've been chipping away at that.
I still haven't gone back to it yet. I'm going to give it time because it's still just a bit sprightly for me at the moment, straight off. But yeah,
no, I'm into it.
With the slight increase in sunshine and temperature today, I was just like, yeah, it's all about bourbon, full on bourbon today. And obviously it'll please our 11% of American listeners. So yeah,
it's actually down to 7% now.
That's because we didn't mention bourbons last week and we've lost them all.
That's what it is. They just tuned in looking for that one word. Hey, I've got to do a quick shout because some people have sent us their stories of evading whiskey. So I don't want to drop that. So This is a story from an anonymous person that we're going to call Stavros from Brighton, I think. The last time it was John from Glasgow, wasn't it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this one, Stavros from Brighton.
They're cousins.
They might well be. A bit of a distance between them, but people, family don't always stay together, to be fair. So he said, like most men, I presume I purchased far too much whiskey. Fair enough. I can't argue with him there. I think it might actually be a minority of us that purchased too much whiskey, but
yeah.
Okay. My good wife was in a great humor about it until she realized, if anything, it's ever increasing with deliveries and our home is more whiskey than anything else. Something we all understand, right? The solution, he's written it in a very, very structured style. My dad lives a couple of miles away and I get them delivered there. Genius. As a win, and I sneak them into the house. And again, very structured. What's the problem with rerouting? Stavros from Brighton says, well, the local DPD driver, we'll call him Graham, an understanding legend, or understating. I think it means understanding.
Understated?
Yeah, it could be understated and understanding. One day remembered that because my dad was out, he kindly thought he'd turn up at my home and deliver the bottle straight there. Unfortunately, I think his wife was there, and he said the conversation went, "Ruddy hell, your husband buys a lot of whiskey. Does he sell it commercially?"
Oh no!
And finally asked, "How come it?" He let on. How come it goes to the other house instead all the time of this house?
Oh no!
If there was a list of DPD drivers that you don't want, surely that guy would be top of the list. I mean, he's not done him any
thumbs down.
Does not done him any favors there. So he was out and he returned home from work and might well have got the third degree, but apparently they're all good and jetting off to on holidays and stuff together. So yeah,
they survived. Yay!
Yay! It's a positive. It's a happy story, if anything else. story about. It's a story of joy. Yeah. So that was feel free to keep sending those in if you want. We're always happy to read them. As you can see, pretty much verbatim with names omitted. So, Mike, I've got something for you this week, suggested by Brian Volker. Okay. Well, I think we've kind of alluded to it before, and he's like, "Oh, we should do that." So, look, we'll give it a go. So, I don't know how much you know about this stuff, but there's obviously a lot of old blends from the sort of 50s, 60s, and 70s, which have some fairly amusing names. So, I thought I'd just see how much you know about it and whether you can say if these are blends or not.
Oh, on the spot quiz. I like it.
Well, yeah, you haven't seen it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a quiz, would it? It would
just promise not to Google.
It'd be a parade otherwise. Well, people will be able to hear if you're typing and we'll know. So you just have to say pretty much straight, fairly quickly if you think it is a blend or made up. Yeah, okay. We'll call this blend or made up as an interesting name for you. So let's start off with an easy one. Or is it? Or is it an easy one?
See.
Here we go. Speaker.
Blend.
Yeah, it is. It's a blend from the 50s. Kneel before.
Made up.
Oof. Yes, it is made up. Yeah, very good. Ye monks.
Your mum?
Your mum. Yeah.
What'd you say?
Yeah. Ye monks.
Ye monks. That's got to be made up.
No, it's a blend from the 50s and 60s.
Really? Is that Buckfast bottling?
Ye, Y-E, monks. Yeah. Quality, eh? Yeah. Big G.
Spending G's. That's got to be a blend. It should be if it's not.
It's made up. I've done you there. Because actually the blend was Big T. These are, by the way, these are all Scotch blends. I guess we could do bourbons or something in a different week. I don't know how you probably got one right so far, maybe two. I'm not really keeping the score properly.
I am. It's two.
Okay, here we go. Red Hackle.
Red Hackle. Made up.
That's a blend from the 50s, and I was going to call it Red Tackle, and then I thought you would get that one.
The mind could stray quite easily there.
Yeah, it could do. Okay, here's one more. Proud Roundhead.
Oh, Scotch. So made up.
Yes, it is made up. But there is a Proud Cavalier, which is from the 60s and 70s. All right, let's just do two more. Hanky Bannister.
I'm saying that's genuine. If it's not, I'm going to blend it myself.
Yeah, that's a genuine one from the 60s. Yeah. Okay. And
My million's gone.
yeah. Oh, I could do. I'll just do one more. Okay. Let's try this one. Cathedral.
City. It's a cheese, isn't it?
It is a cheese now, but was it a blend a while
No,
ago?
I don't think it's got to be made up. Singular words, not generally hitting.
Oof, that's controversial. You're going to get a lot of abuse for that because quite a lot. This is brand. There is quite a lot of single word Scotch. To be fair, I mean,
Blends.
yeah, there really is. I mean, you should really retract that. I mean, maybe go into hiding.
I stand by it.
Yeah, no, that's a real one as well. So there you go.
Wow,
You've
I thought you did all right.
yeah, I think you maybe got half or something. There's some really good ones actually. I have to see what else we can find.
Hanky spanky blended whiskey. That's what I'm interested in.
There's also some really like serious ones like the challenge,
Ooh. See,
the elite.
is that just to get through it because it's so shit?
Family friendly pod. I don't know, but I mean, I would love a blend in my cupboard that was called the challenge or the elite. That's pretty wicked, isn't it? Right. Sounds proper. So yeah, well, let's recap then the
Whiskey Live.
Yeah, let's recap Whiskey Live.
Highlights for you.
Well, I can tell you lowlights. Lowlights was the train before we even got there.
Oh, don't.
I don't know about for you, but I had to wait 15 minutes to get a tube. And then
do you not remember you telling me about waiting 15 minutes where I've had to travel halfway across Kent due to failed train lines, then get a train in and still manage to get there on time that we prearranged. So
yeah, I got delayed by 25 minutes.
Unnamed tube station.
I'm not building in, 25 minutes. Like I'm, if you're in London, you should be able to get there within a minute of being planned. And it turns out that that's not the case anymore. Waiting 15 minutes for a train on the Central Line is ridiculous on a Saturday.
Hashtag TFL rant.
Yeah, well, it is a bit, isn't it? But anyway, nevertheless, we got there and then we were very sensible, which means we just had one pint before
one pint of Guinness. We lined ourselves. We got the iron count up. We had a lovely little beer in the Eagle Pub in Hoxton, and then caught up with some people that had done the early shift at the Whiskey Festival.
Why do you think it is that so many people that are really into whiskey are super into stout and Guinness? Ooh. Just a side note, it's something that keeps me awake at night.
I would say mouthfeel. It's definitely got sort of that viscosity that you don't get with a pint. And there's a lot going on in
flavour.
Yeah, it's just deep. It's like it's
rich. Yeah,
I know you get that with the IPAs, but half of them taste like
flowers.
Yeah, not into super. It's
just it's just a side note. I just just noticed that a lot of people that are into whiskey also really into stout or Guinness, and
I love a nice marshmallow stout. So yeah, Tiny Rebel do amazing stouts.
I tried to stay off that stuff because I feel like if I get into that as well, then there's no end to this. Right, if you see what I mean.
You just get really fat quickly. That's all.
Yeah. Well,
doesn't go well with my body for some reason. Just like balloon up.
But... So we get to the festival. We've had a pint. It's not that busy when we get in, is it? Really, to be fair, I don't think it was that busy at all.
No, it was weird. I remember walking in and saying to you, "Is there a lot less stands and stuff than there was last year?" Because the whole place looked empty. Weirdly.
Yeah.
But then. Obviously, we had that 2 hours beforehand where ahead of sort of normal entry. So, yeah, we did get a little bit of time to sort of just get around.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's more than you realise when you get in, for sure. But the first thing that happens is, and I don't know why they do this at, this festival anyway, is you walk in and the first thing they do is hand you a bag full of stuff. That's the last thing I want when I walk through a door. I don't want to, I want a glass and that's it, Well, no one told you the tokens are in the bag either. These like premium tokens. So if you dumped the bag, you wouldn't have had your premium tokens.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
to be fair, I thought you'd have loved that. I thought you would have really enjoyed it because given all your middle class appliances in your cupboards that we saw on Twitter the other day, a cheeky little tote bag would be a lovely little addition, I think.
What happens if I was to tell you that my missus has probably got about 35 tote bags or whatever they're called?
I would not be surprised.
So I open a cupboard and they just fall out. I don't need another tote bag. I can tell you straight. I gave my tote bag to Liam to safely get home glasses.
Yeah.
And he has confirmed that he got 6 Capitas back.
He got 6?
6 back, of which I'm getting 3 back, which means I'm finally going to have a full set of tasting glasses. I'm going to have
amazing
5 Whisky Live Capitas because I've got 2 from last year and 3. So I'll be able to do, for the first time in my life, when I've got 5 whiskies, I'll be able to do them all in the same glass.
And they were all obviously lovingly donated by other patrons that attended the festival.
I think people just leave it. People just leave them on the way out, don't they?
Yeah, I think so. I ended up with an empty Guinness glass, which I've acquired from somewhere. So I don't quite know what happened, but yeah.
I don't know if you bring a Guinness glasses home.
It's a good mention of Liam because he joined us, 2 hours into the festival. Liam turned up, and Liam's your friend from real life.
Real life friends.
A non-whiskey geek. So, yeah, got the pleasure to sort of walk him around and introduce him.
I classify him as a supermarket whiskey. So he's into sort of supermarket stuff. He doesn't drink it as much. And I will take to my grave his face when he tried the Kalila Tokai cask from Murray McDavid. And he looked at me and his face went, "Is this what whiskey can be?" And I just looked at him and I was like, "Yes, my friend.
It is."
And you know what? You can actually buy that bottle. And he went, "I can buy it,
mate."
And I said the links. I think he has bought it afterwards. So
that stand had some bangers.
It's the goodest place to start as any, isn't it? I mean, we're not going to do this in order because that's what we're like. But I absolutely love that Murray McDavid stand. And Dean's a super nice guy. But I
didn't realise Dean is the sort of blender at the thing. So I've seen Dean on social media and stuff, and then chatted to him at the festivals, but didn't realise he's like the geezer behind it all.
Yeah, he's also super smartly dressed. So fair play to him.
Very swanky.
Gave us a good talk through. There was a Glen Spey, I think, that I tried that one a bit later on in the day. That was excellent. Yeah. And there was like one that had been blended from 4 casks with some port mix in there.
Port Oloroso PX.
But what was that?
Obviously bourbon. That was a Linkwood 9-year-old.
That was the Linkwood. That was also excellent.
That was really good.
Spoiler alert, we're going to say a lot of these whiskies are excellent because the truth is most whiskies at that level are very good.
Also excellent. Once you've had a few drams, they're all excellent. But these genuinely were.
But we also got to try that 20 or 21-year-old, the Shig Margot cask, right?
Yes. I'm glad you pronounced it because I wasn't going to go there.
Yeah. And what we did actually, so our top tip is go around first and size up the whiskies you really want to try before your palate is destroyed.
Yeah.
And do not pretend that your palate will not get destroyed. It does get destroyed. I don't know after how many whiskies it is. And then after that, you're really going more on kind of like feel, aren't you?
Yeah.
So we went round and tried the ones we really, really wanted to try fairly early on.
Yeah.
Right? So we were lucky to try that one early on in the show when our palate was still going. And I'm strongly considering getting a bottle of that.
The Kalila.
Both, to be honest. Yeah. The Tokai cask Kalila and the Shig. They're both available online. Yeah. Anyway, I'll just have to see how it goes.
Yeah.
Tokaji.
Tokai.
The other stands really good were the Chapter 7 sort of top whiskies guys. They had some worldies as well. I really enjoyed some of those.
What was cool about them was they had about, I don't know, was it 14 bottles on the stand?
It was
something like that.
Ridiculous
just
the amount of whiskey they had out. And I was,
just
you know what?
Everything. Almost so many distilleries.
I was waiting for a car crash to happen because there were so many people around that stand and people picking up bottles. And I'm like, there's only 2 of them. I started like sort of trying to control people away from their bottles and just sort of control their tasting. Because I was like, they were so busy and there was so much there. I just could see it going really wrong for them. So
you were doing a wee bit of crowd control where people were getting too drunk, sort of steering them away.
Yeah,
we had to stay the whole length to see somebody sadly fall over. But I've never not been to a whiskey festival and not seen someone fall over. So whoever you are, these people, please drink less.
Yeah, or just water in between every dram. Have a bit of
some water. There's always someone that falls over. Always.
Yeah, but no, Ed and Sebastian were doing a sterling job down there, and I think that stand in particular, they had I know you were sort of like, really, you got to try this. It was the Canvas.
That's me all over, though, isn't it? Once I've had a few.
What's the age?
Oh, the Canvas, the 31-year-old or something. It was excellent. Yeah, it was really good.
That was nice.
Yeah.
And then we had the Manic More 11 was hitting a lot of points for me as well. Sort of not so keen. But
I just can't really remember it. So, take from that what you will.
Yeah.
Well, that's true, isn't it? I tell you what, I can remember the Glen Murray stand with the warehouse editions. I didn't try, just to make a point here, I didn't try the Oloroso. Guess why? I've got it at home. Don't need to drink it again. But I did try the Amarone and the Amontillado, and we both loved the Amarone, right?
Amarone for me was like, I think I loved it at the time significantly more than you did. I was like getting very excited to myself. I was like, can I have, like, literally did an Oliver, can I have some more, please?
It's definitely up there. Again, that's another one I would consider buying. I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for it. Just everything I'd want in like a sherried whiskey.
And they, again, the guys on the stand were so nice. Like obviously Ian, is just all over it, and then did a little special tasting.
Maybe Phil, was it?
Room. Yeah, Phil as well.
You can't talk about the special tasting though, because we got to try something which is not yet released.
It's not yet released. Can't talk about it.
Can't talk about it. It's top secret, which is such a shame because it was very cool.
Glen Murray have got some really good things going on, and they don't take the mick with costs. They're putting out really, really good value, good strength. Good prices.
What was that? That one that's got scored 98 points at some sort of
Elgin 10-year-old Chardonnay cask.
That was it. Yeah, that was it. And we tried that. It was vanilla, orchard fruit. There was a little something else in there, maybe like lychee or something.
And it was good because we had a good chat with Ian about that. And it was like, why be embarrassed about this vanilla note?
I know, right?
Because it's one of the most appealing to me, one of the most appealing tastes in all of food. It just means comfort for me, like this vanilla thing. And you're going to get buckets of it as soon as there's anything bourbon cask involved. And
on that, just whilst I'm just going to have a wee pour of Springbank 10, I think.
Ooh, that's good cork pop, by the way.
Thanks.
Very good. Yeah. But yeah, I think that.
Well,
90,
look,
is it 90 out of 100 people scored it?
Glen Murray Distillery. Glen Murray.
I don't know how long we've been talking for now, but I've managed to go this far without talking about Tamdhu. So let's just get onto it, right? Let's just get into it. So one, Tamdhu weren't there, devastated, totally devo,
hilarious.
Yeah, and it actually said that Tamdhu were going to be there, as well as many other stands in some sort of email, which I feel like
maybe it was last year's link or something, but there were loads of brands mentioned.
Lots of brands mentioned. I'm going to have to check it again. People. Yeah, but anyway, it was all recovered with Jarlef? I think it was Jarlef on Dunville's.
Oh my word!
So I'm just going to be totally honest and say I don't think I've ever tried a single bottle of that, and I came away thinking,
I want all of them.
Yeah, really, it's. And when I said to him, lovely guy, when I said to him, it's really kind of giving me Tamdhu vibes, and he went, yeah, that's what we were going for. Yeah. And I was like, are you joking? And he said, no, that's kind of what we were going for. Like, this is that's kind of the direction we're going for.
Juicy, but rich and dry all at the same time. Mega.
Yeah, and mega, just so good. So even though Tamdhu wasn't there, Dunville's was there, right?
Dunville from Belfast. It was absolutely wicked. I struggled to understand John at the time because he was like proper. It's like me when I go full on Welsh.
He was like the Energizer. It was like a Northern Irish Energizer bunny.
All right, guys. Well, I'm Jarlath. You're drinking Dunville's Irish whiskey from the Actonville Distillery.
That's really nice to hear from Jarlath there, from Dunvilles.
He was wicked.
He was bouncing off the walls. He was having a great time.
Yeah.
Have a bit of that Paolo Cortado 21.
And you know what was good?
Hey, boys, he's going, boys, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. You got the PX single class 21 coming.
So we went in sort of like being the whiskey experts that we are, going, right, we're just going to go in and try the ones we want. And we're not going to get talked into doing a lineup because we know best. And we went over and went, as polite as can be. Duncan sort of went, we're going to do this. He went, no, you're starting here. He gave us their it was like a blend. And we were like, that's
it was actually pretty good.
And he went, okay, well, you got these other two. And then so we jumped into the Palo Cortado cask. And what else did we have on there? It was like
a negotiation. We said, look, we'll do the entry, but we only really want to try 4. And he went, okay, well, 3 or 4, here we go. These are the ones. he went, you do the entry one, then you go straight up to the big boy league.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. And then we ended up hanging around for a while. And I think we tried a couple other ones just because he was such a nice guy.
We had a little a cheeky Dunville's PX cast strength.
21-year-old.
Yeah, there wasn't much left in that bottle, but our new pal secured that at the end of the festival. So big shout out to Jeff.
Yeah.
You got home safely. We got a message. I was getting a bit worried. I was about to circulate pray for Jeff. You went radio silent on us.
Just, I don't know if I told you this. I can't remember if I left you a voice message saying this or not, but on the way back, after we'd managed to procure a kebab finally for Jeff around Tottenham Court Road, then we were on the tube and both heading wherever we were heading together. And he was like, "Oh, have another swig on it. Let's have a swig." And I was like, "Jeff, please, let's stop trying to drink the." I was like, "Just keep it." I was like, at this point, we're both, we're
not enjoying it as well.
I was like, "There's no point." So, just in case anyone thinks, what's your? How do you judge whether you are still what's the word? Cognizant? Is that the right word?
Sounds close enough to me.
With it. And I was with it enough to realize that even though I could have another swig on this fabulous whiskey for free, it was a total waste. Yeah. I was like, please don't do that. I was like, just keep it, take it home, enjoy it, right?
The only thing you're doing is going to make tomorrow's hangover worse. There's no benefits that have been gleaned.
It's just not worth it. It's too good to just be swigging out of a bottle on a train. Yeah. And so I shut that one down after one tiny swig just to make him feel good about it.
Jeff, ex ice hockey goalkeeper, Canadian legend. I want him on the pod at some point in the future because he was just hilarious.
Yeah, he was gold, wasn't he?
Yeah. Quality geezer.
Yeah. So that Dunville's was amazing. Murray McDavid was amazing. Chapter 7 was very good. Glen Murray was great, and the rest of the stands, to be honest, all right. I mean, it was good. Don't get me wrong, but they were the standout ones, weren't they? So one other thing that really gets on my nerves. I've only really said the do you call it a tote bag as you walk in? Yeah. So things that could be improved for me. Don't give somebody a really weighty tote bag as they walk in because they don't know what to do with it. Mm-hmm. 2, when a festival gets underway and then people go to the stand, I've got no problem if people are at the stand chatting with people, like chatting to the ambassador or somebody serving. I get that.
I know what you're going to say.
But I'm going to say it because people need to hear it. But when you've stopped talking to somebody for a while and then you just decide to stand at the stand and just block anybody else from getting to it, especially if you've got a rucksack on. But that's a side note. If you're just going to stand at the stand and we were moving out of the way. Yeah. People just stand at the stand and won't move. Yeah. Oh, please. It's not difficult. People are going to let you back in. It's like they panic that if they move, you can rotate, right? You don't have to just shoulder out. And there wasn't too much there going on, but just a little bit. And obviously it gets worse.
Towards the end as well. And do you know what? What really annoyed me is that it was the Whisky Live stand, wasn't it? So it was all the award win or the Whisky Award stand. I don't know what you want to call it. But
the World Whisky Awards stand.
World Whisky Awards stand. You had to have tokens to get anything off this bar. And they literally just stood there, taking up half the bar. We're just patiently waiting. And then they throw their drams away.
Is that what they did?
Yeah, straight into the bucket.
What a waste.
Carried on talking. And I'm like, you are literally going to get dragged out of there in a minute.
Hey, on that, I get that if people don't want to drink too much, but at the same time, I kind of don't know how I feel about spitooning top quality whiskey,
especially not at 9:45 when it's finishing at 10. You've already committed at this stage. If you're still there, you're there for the night. You just admit what you're there for, or get out.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So my only other last gripe, and I don't know if you can remember this, but we had tickets where you get free cheese. The free cheese tickets. Now, I don't know if it's me, and maybe I just, again, sort of a loose memory, although we went and got the cheese cheese and cold meat fairly early on.
Good idea.
I don't remember there being any Stilton or any cheddar, and this was early on.
There was a little bit of cheddar and brie.
Okay, so there was. I just remember piles of brie. Whoever did the ordering there, you need to get some Stilton and some more cheddar.
Yeah,
it was a little unbalanced.
You did go back up for more brie, so it could have been that's why.
Well, that's all there is. What, brie or no brie? I'm going to go brie, aren't I? That's the only choice.
Is the question to brie or not to brie?
when you are, having, we drink, and you want to have some food on top of the water, and there's only brie.
Yeah.
Brie it is,
and more bread. Got to have more bread.
Yeah, brie
Soak
and
stuff
more
up.
bread.
But yeah, it
So
was good food though. Good food. What was there was
it's all
tasty.
right. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
Not
gonna.
happy. You should
I'm not
see
gonna-
his face.
Not going to rave about it, Mike. There's no point, is there? They could have had better quality of cheese and less tote bags, but great stands and really good laugh.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
it was definitely. I think the episode title summed it up perfectly. A good day to drink hard, and we prepped correctly. We actually had some semblance of a plan. We stuck to it, and met some cool people, had some wicked whiskies, and had a really good laugh.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I think that I've been really introduced to Dunville's. I've been Murray McDavid has cemented themselves as one of my favorite IBs.
Yeah,
it was really great trying the whole Glenmurray range, right, and trying the other warehouse casks, because I really wonder what they're like. And that's the brilliant thing about Whisky Festival is you can go and try whiskies that you can try quite a few whiskies in one sort of afternoon or evening, and really make some purchasing decisions.
Yeah, and amazingly, another thing, we didn't buy any bottles.
No,
immediately.
Not immediately.
But normally, I will come out of a whiskey festival with something because I just feel like I need to show something. But like I said, this was like the blueprint of how to survive a whiskey festival for me. This is how you should behave. And I think we both came out reasonably professional.
On that, we did go to the pub afterwards, and that was when it started to go downhill. So I'm just saying, like, every time
I don't know what you're on about, Duncan.
Went to the pub and hang around with
randoms. It's good though.
Anyway, so we went to the pub afterwards, and we had another pint Guinness, and we had a cigar, didn't we? We chilled out, and we debriefed. It was good stuff. So would we recommend it? Whiskey Live? Yeah, maybe. Like
I would. I think cut your teeth. It's still it's a good festival. It's not overwhelming, and there weren't too many idiots, which is a good thing to say, especially when you're in London.
I think as long as you're friendly and you get talking to the people and you get some of the not front of counter drams, then I think you'd come away very, very happy, right?
Yeah, I'd agree.
And that was our experience, really. Yeah. Well, to next year, Mike.
Next year, free tickets, please. Whiskey Live. This pod's got to be good for something.
Yeah,
paying for all these Whiskey Live tickets every year.
Yeah. All right. Look. Thanks for listening to this episode, and subscribe and follow if you want to hear more.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
Did you say?
Here we go.
Flavours of London, 12 to 2 on Mondays at boogalooradio.com, or catch up on mixcloud.com/boogalooradio.
Oh my days, check that out. That was super pro. Available at all good hospitals. So I got some Tora Pike.
Tora Vig.
That's amazing.
So what are we doing with that?